A young man, John, is caring for a tech billionaire, David, who is suffering from an ailment. As they are celebrating David's birthday, David gives John the keys to his Ferrari. The next day, while John is teaching in his class, he receives a call that David has been taken to the hospital as his condition has worsened. On reaching the hospital, John finds that a group of people are transferring David to his lab against doctor's advice. John tells the lady leading the team that they need his permission to, which the lady says that John has no legal authority, and this is being done as per David's plan. On his way to the lab, John is surprised to see David standing in the window. He tricks the security at the entrance and runs inside the lab. He reaches a room where he finds David standing behind a glass. As he gets closer, he finds that it is a machine with David's face. The lady he met at the hospital takes John to David where he is recovering and gives him a video message recorded by David. In the video, David explains that he had commissioned a team to create an android that looks like him and can step in while David is away. He tells John that the android knows a lot about him and he needs John's help to make the android more human. John switches on the android by pushing a button behind its ear. He's taken aback by the lifelike response from the robot. As the android comes towards him, he gets scared and switches it off by saying goodnight. While John is trying to sleep, he finds the android standing in his room, which he doesn't like. He takes the android downstairs and commands it to go to sleep. The next day, as John comes out of the shower, the android is waiting to apply body lotion on him. John tells him that he doesn't need it, but the android tells him it will help him relax. Initially, John likes the massage to the neck, but slowly, the android starts choking him. John forcefully releases himself from the android's hold. Looking at John's reaction, the android realizes he has done something wrong, and it starts hitting itself. However, John stops the android. He tells the android that he is scared for David and he doesn't know what he wants to do in his life. Android thanks John for sharing his feelings with it and tells him that it is here for him. Later, while preparing for his dinner, the android helps John with chopping the onions. John invites the android to have dinner with him. During dinner, the android curiously sees John having wine. John looks at the android and decides to give the wine to it. The android starts gulping it down, at which John tells it to slow down and savor it. The next day, as John is talking to his friend, Jordan, the android starts peeling the carrot quickly as if it is jealous of John talking to somebody else. Jordan enters the house by himself and tells John he needs to use the washroom. He steals a lotion from the bathroom, and while coming down, he sees the android and shouts. John tells him the entire story, and they both go out for a run. When they return, Jordan tries to get intimate with John, which John didn't like, and asks him to leave. Jordan comes downstairs and meets the android. It asks Jordan to return the lotion. Jordan takes the knife and puts it inside the android chest, but it does not affect it. The android takes the knife out and stabs it in Jordan's chest. The android then cuts his body into pieces and burns it. While John is out for his run, he searches for Jordan's location on his phone. To his surprise, the phone shows Jordan's location nearby. As he follows the directions, he finds the burnt Jordan's device in the fireplace outside the house. John asks the android about Jordan, to which the android mentions that it is trying to protect him as it loves him. As the android expresses his feelings, John kisses the android passionately. He then takes the android out for the night where they have fun together. While they are enjoying each other's company, John receives a call from the lab that David is now fine, and a team will come to take away the android. John gives a final hug to the android and gives the command to shut it down. The android is then transported by the team to the lab. John goes to meet David, who is now completely healthy. John is upset that he gave him no right to make decisions when David was sick and feels he is being used as an experiment to help train the robot. He tells David there can be more depth to their relationship, and a guy puts a plastic on John's face and begins to choke him. David tells John that during his sickness, he realizes he doesn't need anybody else in his life, and he alone is enough. John dies due to suffocation. Next, we see the android satisfying David's needs. The android looks at the picture on the nightstand and asks if it knows the guy. David tells the android it never met the person and asks the android to continue to satisfy David's desire. And the story ends there.